Okay, we're going to try to install, and it's tricky, you got to get every little setting right. We're going to try to install on an unsupported processor. This is a Ryzen 1600 in Proxmox. This is a little more techie video than some of the other ones I've had. You have to change some settings and put a virtual TPM and make sure you're using the KVM processor, and you'll need to also make sure you, of course, had a Windows 11. You can get that right. ISO, you can get that from the Windows website, and the latest is 2.0 or later ISO drive from the, I think it's Red Hat. They link it on the Proxmox website. And we'll have to remember to attach that one before we boot this machine up. Let's create a VM. We'll call this YouTube. Just as a, I'm going to destroy this. This is just temporary for a demo. We'll go to the next one. Nothing special here. We'll choose our Windows 11 ISO, just like normal, what you would with Windows 10 here. Now, it doesn't say Windows 11 as an option, but the Windows 10 works. System is where we got to make the first change. I just like to put this QEM here. I'm going to put, everybody says to put that the OMVF UFEI. Now, you would choose whatever storage you have available. Since I have a thin hard drive here, I'm going to choose that to store it on. Put this, everybody says to put this to the Q35 instead. Add a TPM. Make sure that whatever storage you put here is the same one you use here, and make sure your TPM is on version 2.0. This UFEI and this Q35, I mean this TPM 2.0 should allow it to go through other than the processor. This is two parts you needed. That's different than Windows 10. You really don't have to mess with this. I'm going to put the storage on VirtIO. I'm going to put it on that thin disk also, and you need at least 64. I'm going to put 80 here just in case. I like to put the disk card, but everybody says that's a good idea to put it if you got an SSD. But if you don't put the hard drive large enough here, it'll fail when you try. You probably need at least 4 cores. I'm going to put 6 here. You know what, so to help this out, I'm going to go 8 while we're doing this demo to maybe speed it up. This right here, I've seen other demos saying to choose the host processor, which if you do that and your processor is not supported, it's not going to work. Because Windows 11 will say this machine is not supported. It has worked here for me and for other people. I'll put this also on VirtIO, and I skipped right over to, my mouse is acting up. If you leave it at 2 gigabytes of RAM, it's not going to work. You need at least 4. I'm going to go up to 192 to help try to keep things snappy. VirtIO, and before we start it, let's wait for it to work. Let's come to hardware and add a CD drive and pick our VirtISO, or we won't be able to install the drivers when we finish. If you forget this, you'll get stuck and you won't be able to install the drivers, and you're not going to be able to work. So let's start her up, and we'll go to our console and see if we can get her installed this time. Sorry about the little clicks. My mouse is acting up. And it's registering double clicks for a single click. Okay, I'm going to leave these defaults because I'm in the United States. This happens even if you're if you get the unsupported error. So we're not out of the woods yet. I'm going to just put, I don't have a product key, so we can just do demo mode. I'm going to choose Pro, but you could choose Windows 11 Home. It's the same process. Windows 11 Home, though, I think is not going to let you sign in without a Microsoft account. So if you want to create a local account, pick Pro. It's just, you know, Pro licenses, if you buy an official license, is more expensive. Okay, you have to accept the... Let's do a custom setup, and you'll see there's no hard drive. So we'll have to load a driver, and that's why we had to do the Vert ISO disk. Vert ISO, AMD 64. Let's go to Windows 10, and there's our SCSI controller. Okay, and now we've got the hard drive here, so we can continue like normal. This machine has SSDs in it, so I'm hoping it goes quick enough for us here, and I don't have to go edit and speed it up, but if not, I may speed this part up. It's real easy to click a setting wrong and this not work. I actually did it a couple times. If you forget to click on the UEFI settings or the machine settings and the TPM settings, or if you forget to put enough RAM, or if you forget to make sure the hard drive is big enough, any of those things will cause this to fail. Whereas Windows 10 was pretty forgiving. Didn't really care too much. But from this point on, we're basically the same as Windows 10. I figure since I'm in it this deep, I'll go ahead and install it and put the drivers so it'll be complete. Oh, and the other thing I didn't mention, you need to, you know, before you try this, update Proxmox to the latest version. You know, the Windows 11 is pretty new, so you won't have some of these options if you don't update it. If anybody's interested, I can make videos about, you know, the setting the correct repositories for Proxmox if you don't buy the enterprise license. And I guess I could have hit the button to speed this up slightly, but and of course, I'm just going to delete this machine after the video. I was just doing this one as a demo. And let's see if we get to the wonderfully complicated and aggravating Windows setup. It looks a lot different than Windows 10 if you haven't played with Windows 11 yet. It looks different than Windows 10, but functionally it's the same thing. I haven't even tried Windows 11 Home yet, so everybody's commenting that it won't allow you to do it without a Microsoft account. That's getting very, very, very annoying. I've been using Windows 11 on a new machine I built, and everything's working great. I saw a couple of weird issues with networking, possibly. Nothing showstopper, but and I'm sure probably in the next update that'll all be fixed. I know there's some big updates coming. But once that's worked out, I actually like it better than Windows 10. I think it's really nice. And here we are at the Windows setup screen. Now, of course, none of this is special, and you don't have to watch it here. This is, I just figured since I'm this far in, I'll go ahead and finish. The main part was in the first couple minutes of this video is the settings. I'm in the United States. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it on a US keyboard. I don't need any additional keyboards. I don't have a network the network's not working right now because I didn't, you know, that I had that VirtIO network card, and I have to install the driver before that'll work. Let's continue with limited setup. And you're going to get these stupid questions here. I'm just going to type in some jibber jabber for right now because, you know, again, this is just a demo I'm going to destroy. I suggest lying on these. I think my mouse clicked too fast again. You can do these how you want them. I like to turn these all off and at least not give Microsoft permission to spy on me. I'm not saying they won't do it anyway. We know they do, but don't give them free reign here. And I'm at the high screen. It's going to take a few more moments. When I get in there, then, you know, basically nothing's going to be working. Network's not going to work. Anything's going to work because there's no drivers. But we'll install the drivers from the VirtISO disk, and then you have Windows 11 running. I really don't know why Windows has to make this so the signing up for into Windows and your user account so annoying. And this is going fairly slowly. If this helps you out or anything, just if you think about it, like the video or subscribe or anything, it'll help get these out there a little bit. And please keep on our PC and plugged in. We're planning on it. Again, you know, you've already seen the part that was critical other than just installing the drivers. I haven't been using Proxmox for very long. I put this on I've just recently built a new computer, and I put Windows 11 on it, and I blew my old Windows 10 workstation. I blew Windows 10 off the disk, and installed Proxmox. Okay, and here I am. So let's install the drivers. Let's go to the VirtISO file, and x64 and one. I'm just going to leave this at all the defaults. This is a little bit like if you're familiar with VirtualBox, this reminds me a little bit of VirtualBox right here. You know, the other thing while we're in here, let's go ahead and run the, where is the QE, the guest agent, the QEM guest agent, and this is 64-bit. This one, when it runs, it just opens the command in Windows and it closes. So we should be done now. Let's see how many. We probably have to reboot it though, but we should have no. You see, we have a TPM 2.0 now, and no real error messages. And it looks like the internet started working. And there we go. You see, we fixed the network driver when we installed the VirtISO drivers. So there you are now. What I would recommend is, this is going to really be bad here. What you want to do is turn on remote desktop. just click and allow this machine to be accessible from other machines. Then go to Windows Remote Desktop software on a Windows or a Mac and use that to connect. Then you'll be at almost native performance. But that was how we can get it installed. We're running Windows 11 now. Now, if I were doing this, I would go in and for my my ISO disk, I would say don't use any media. And for the Vert ISO disk, since I'm already finished with it, I would also say don't use any media. Then I would reboot the computer. But we're done with it for us now, so that was it.